Hello and welcome back to another episode of Frosthaven on +3 insane difficulty with me. It's been a little while. It was Easter holidays over here and I took a little break. Went and did a bit of traveling. A bit of my road event, if you will. So yeah, didn't get a chance to play Frosthaven. And but now we're back, so we can pick up where we left off. In my last video, we completed our solo mission for the Bannerspear and got this Spear of Justice. So now I think we're back out onto the road. So you skip the outpost phase when you do solo missions. So yeah, nothing to do in outpost. I think we will just pick a mission, set it up, and we'll cut this recording there. And then, as usual, we'll play the mission in our next video. So I think of the missions available, unfortunately, we are into the super hard territories. I really want to do mission 13 in order to unlock the path to do mission 69 for my Deathwalker's retirement. But mission 13 is super hard, and I don't think my party is ready for it. It's I know that sounds really surprising, but we are now on to scenario 6, almost 7. And I think we're just going to need our party to catch up a bit before we can get onto it. So what I mean by that is your the monster level just caps out at 7, I'm pretty sure. So once you get to that level, the game actually gets easier on insane difficulty as your characters then level up. So we are kind of on the threshold of maximum pain right now. And 13 is a notorious level. Really bad, especially for characters like Deathwalker who has very low HP. So I think I would defer 13 maybe for a mission or two. Maybe Deathwalker gets a chance to catch up a little bit in level. I would also like to brew more potions. We don't have enough potions. So all that said, I think I will get into. We'll continue with the mission 5 and let's go into mission 9, which is also a hard mission, but they're all hard right now. So let's just do one. Okay, so let's do a road event. What is this? A road event 13. Let's fire it up. Road 13. Summer Road. Yes. Okay. So let us read 13 together.
As you pause for a rest along your journey, you spot a handful of bright orange produce sticking out from the meltwater mud. It looks not dissimilar to an elongated flame fruit, though the color is different. You pick one off and smell it, noting its rich, lively herb aroma. As you prepare to take a bite, you hear a voice shouting,
I wouldn't do that.
An elderly quattrel steps out of the bushes and points at you with her walking stick.
That's a fire pepper, the strongest spice on this side of the continent.
As you look puzzled, she continues.
It's been said that a fire pepper stew can reheat even the soul of the dead. I've heard the tale of a hungry mob living beneath the Copperneck Mountains that only spared a village from destruction when they served it a plate of their hottest sweet and fiery stew.
She chuckles to herself.
I'm certain it would be too much for you. I grew up eating these, but it would probably take you a week to recover.
Option A. Try the fire pepper. Option B. Ask her to demonstrate just how easily she could eat it.
Not sure why. Not sure why there's such sad music with this event. Well, we have a quattro. We have our Blinkblade. And I actually really like spicy food in real life, so I think we're just gonna go try the fire pepper here. So let's go option A. And what do we have? Yeah, we have a quattro. and we have strong as well. So let's take option A with the quattro outcome.
A challenge must be met. You pop the fire pepper into your mouth, and after a second, it's clear why she warned you. This thing is hot. After an hour, most of the burning has subsided, and the woman nods, impressed.
All right. Perhaps you could handle a challenge of a different sort.
Okay. Not sure why the music is so epic. I mean, we just ate chili, so all right. 10 experience each is certainly welcome, since we said we wanted our party to catch up a bit. So that's nice. So let's add it now. This brings us much closer to level 6, which we hope we will get there with majority of the party after this mission. And maybe we can even get to level 7 on a few of these guys. That'd be nice. Okay, what else is there? We get fire pepper, campaign sticker. It's surprising to me what goes on the campaign sticker sometimes. It's like, you know, finding a shard, yes. And then eating a chili, also yes. So I will take it. And then no new scenario, the Eternal Crave, 1, 2, 2. Which is, I guess, the hungry maw that the quattro woman was talking about. And it is here with a gigantic cooking pot. Alright, I mean, we're not going to do that now, since we've already selected our mission, so we'll look at it next time. Alright, so yeah, we said we'll do scenario 9, so let's get on with it. So scenario 9 is I think is a difficult scenario, mainly because of the randomness of the scenario. So I'll talk a little bit more about it, but let's look at the introduction first. So Glowing Catacombs is a 1 pip scenario, so not too complex. Although I personally feel like this probably deserves a 2 pip, because some of the 2 pip scenario we've played doesn't seem super complex, but this one, I don't know, it feels like the pip complexity rating should be telling you how prepared you should be about twists and turns, whereas I feel like this should. Anyway, scenario goes is, the scenario is complete when all enemies in it are dead and both switches have been activated. At the end of that round, read 93.4. So you know there are switches that needs to be activated. Okay, so let us read the scenario description first together. So, Glowing Catacombs.
It's always strange traveling deep underground, but it's made even stranger by the musty smell of undead that clings to you like grease smoke. You try to ignore it, to put the stench out of your mind, but it only seems to grow as you move deeper into the catacombs. Along with the stench, the eerie green light has grown in intensity as well. It gleams down every hall now, and you find yourself relaxing in its glow. You shake your head and try to clear the thought, knowing full well this is not the place to let your guard down. But still, the insidious, soothing feeling persists. The catacomb tunnels grow deeper. The floor and walls turn to uneven stone, and the air becomes stale, the long years having petrified it into a thick fume. You stop. Something moved just ahead. You raise a torch and see flickers of shadow shift in the passage. A body, large and wispy black, detaches from the wall and moves to block the path forward. It is made of shadow and corroded black armor, its face guarded by a jagged helm. And it has seen you. It rises slowly, its eyes burning with palpable menace, and releases a deep, hateful groan.
Right, so when door 1 is opened, read section 78.2, which is here. So let's talk about this scenario and why I think it's a difficult scenario. So first of all, this is a long scenario. We start here, and we have to get through quite a lot of corridors to get to this last room. So movement is actually one of the key limiting factors to this scenario, because normally I don't like to take too many high move cards on my characters, especially because for characters like Bannerspear and Deathwalker, movement is not natural to both of the characters the way I've built them, especially Bannerspear. And Deathwalker is going to have to rely on shadow movement and teleportation to keep up with the party. And of course Deathwalker has the added challenge of having to keep the shadow moving from one room to the next. So that's challenge number 1. Number 2, we are fighting oozes. So if you don't know about the ooze, from Gloomhaven, on the surface they don't look too complex. 13 HP on the normal, 21 on the elite, 1 shield, does poison, a little bit damage, move very slow. Doesn't seem that menacing, right? Until you look at their ability card. Oh, there it is. Split. So I'll spread out the rest. The rest of it means not too bad, but there are 2 cards in here. Both of them are shuffles, so you can draw them sequentially over and over again. That is, they suffer 2, and they summon a normal ooze with the hit point value equal to the summoning ooze's current hit point value. So basically, when this happens, this guy generates a 13 HP regular ooze, which itself can split. So yeah, even though they don't do any attack when that happens, these guys are self-generating, which is very, very annoying. So the way this scenario is set up, especially on the insane difficulty, means that we largely have very little control about this. Now we'll see when we go into the second room. So the difficulty of this scenario, number 2 challenge, is highly random, and you won't find out until you've maybe spent an hour clearing this room. Finally, the way this room is set up is annoying. All of these rubbles, all of these obstacles, makes it very hard to navigate this room. And you have 2 of these guys who are happily pummeling you from behind, whilst these living dooms, so the ice race we've seen before, I'm not going to go into much detail, but the living dooms, they have shields, they have movement, and they hit hard. So these guys are tough to kill, so you have this frontline team that's pummeling you, whilst the backline is cursing you non-stop. On level 6, these guys are immune to curses, which is a new condition that we didn't have when we were playing against them in level 5. Additionally, the retaliate is now 4 damage rather than 3 on the heavy. Yeah, I know, that's pretty crazy already. And then these guys, they have the ability to inflict Bane, which is a new condition that we haven't seen before. Oh, and they can also summon, that's the other thing, Call for Souls. So if we get this card, we are screwed. So we hope we don't get that card. So yeah, we have both of the oozes and the Living Doom can summon. They can also inflict Bane. Where is it? There it is. Pool of the Grave. What does Bane do? Well, Bane says suffer 10 damage at the end of next turn, then remove. Also remove when healed. So part of the game requires us to anticipate this card and bring healing into our party. And they can summon. So if you don't kill them fast, they can create these living spirits, which can curse, can stun, has loads of shields. So yeah, you can see already the scenario requires you to do a number of different things, often not in harmony with each other. So you have to move across the scenario. You have to fight shielded enemies. You have to fight enemies that can multiply. And you have to deal with status effect like curse, like wound, and like poison and bane. So yeah, that's what makes Scenario 9 so difficult. To offset it somewhat, the designer has helpfully given us a couple of traps. So yeah, these spike traps, whilst they won't affect the ice rays who are flying, they will impact the living doom, and we'll certainly utilize that to the maximum effect. Each of them do 8 damage, and these are pure damage. So the goal certainly is to kill this guy as quickly as possible, and then work on the next living doom before they manage to summon anything. Unfortunately, the traps are placed in such a way that it's quite difficult for us to use because of these obstacles. So let's look at the loot table as well. So we have 3 herbs. I would love to pick up these herbs. Unfortunately, they're rockroot and corpse cap again, and we have had quite a lot of these, and they only give us donkey skin potion, which is maxed out currently. So I would like to pick up the herbs, but unfortunately, it's not the right herbs. I mean, maybe I should be going somewhere other than the crypts, since these are the crypt herbs. There is a random treasure, which may or may not help us. If you pick it up mid-scenario, you can use it, so hopefully we luck out. It is 1 out of 20, and the chances of picking up early is 25%, so there is a good chance if we kill all of these guys and we get the item that could help us. So for our Bannerspear, I think we'll take this setup. Unfortunately, this spear, as much as I would love to use it, it's not really helpful for this scenario, given that most enemies have shields. So attack 2 against the shield 2, shield 1 enemies, just basically attack 1 0. So it's not really that helpful. So I think we'll keep this loadout. Let's look at cards. Killing the first enemy is unlikely. This will require us to loot, which we don't currently have, and we don't want to bring pincer movement just for this. I think never performing a basic action is going to be hard, so all 3 of these are hard. Unless I really want to bring a loot card, and I really don't, because this moves 1 is not going to be that helpful. Maybe we'll try for opener. I think specialist is just going to be too much of a restriction. Let's try for opener. If we don't get it, we don't get it. Not a big deal. Okay, cards. So we definitely need our move 4s. So you're coming along. Attack 2, range 4 advantage is not that helpful. And also banner is not super helpful because I don't really have the time to drag a banner across all of these corridors. So we're very unlikely to be summoning a banner. Also need this move 4. We're gonna need all the move 4 we can get, basically. So probably combine effort and leave. I will take this. Bob is good. Bob allows us to basically disarm a big hit. So I think we'll take Bob. And disarm does work. So as scary as these Living Doom look with attack 7, disarm does work against them. Of course, no point disarming them if they're just going to be summoning that turn. So there is that. But I think Rallying Cry is still helpful because disarm is a condition that affects all of these guys. Yeah, I think this is fine. We don't want that. And these are not that good. Brick Wall was less impressive when all the enemies are shielded. Resolve Courage has a place, but I think for immobilization type of effect I probably prefer to use Pinning Charge, especially giving Pinning Charge can go through the Retaliator range 3. Okay, so I think we'll keep this and this loadout for the banner. Let's look at Drifter. We don't need a spear. We do need damage, so let's take Heavy Sword. I think between Protective Scepter and Heater Shield, I think I'd rather just take the Heater Shield. And we're gonna need all the movement we can get. As much as I would love to take Wing Boots here, to jump over some of this stuff. This is actually more useful because we need all the ground we need to cover. So I think we'll go with this loadout. Executioner, Egoist, or Aesthetic. I don't feel like Drifter is going to be collecting more loot, so let's maybe try for Aesthetic. Collecting loot is not our primary goal for the Drifter anyway, so I think that's probably okay. In terms of cards, let's take a quick look, and we're going to need to cover a lot of ground. So again, we need movement. So as much as I would like to take Prudent Prep, I think it's just not good enough. So Consumer Stamina kind of does the same thing, in that if I needed to heal something, like a heal a Bang Off, I can always just use the top half of the attack card, do some damage, and hopefully take a Bang Off. Especially this is good against the Ice Race with this range 4 attack in the first room. But perhaps not too shabby as well. Retaliate is certainly a good way to go through the shields. Fortitude and Breakthrough both need to come along for sure. We probably need to put up the shield very early. I wonder if Precision Aim is good enough here to take or not. Probably not. So I think rather than Precision Aim, I think we'd rather take Draining Arrows for the move 3 and the rewind. Do I want to take Fierce Barrage? Again, I think there is a argument for taking Fierce Barrage. No, this is a level 3 card I've picked that I seem to barely use, just because I find it hard to find a place to use it. Like, 2 attack 4 is really good, but it's not that useful if the enemy has loads of shields. So ideally this is something I want to use against someone who has no shield and no retaliate. And there's a lot of them. And just so far we haven't seen a lot of enemies. I mean, against Algox, this is pretty good. But not so much against these guys. I think I'd rather take Continuous Health here. I think healing is going to be important. And Valor Assault is a good way to take Bang off myself or Poison off myself if I'm ever in that situation. Or I rather take Prudent Prep. I think I'd rather take the movement here, given how much movement we have to do. So I think we'll go with this setup. Blinkblade, we definitely need damage here. As much as I would like to take the helm, self-healing here is really important. So I think we'll keep this loadout like this. Let's have a look. Accountant, Slayer, Overachiever. Kill enemy and open door in the same turn in either order. I think that's tough. We're not doing that. 2 or more enemies in the same round. Maybe? Accountant is less likely. So let's try for Slayer. Again, of course I still would like to do the Battle Ghost, but if we don't do it, I'm also not too upset, to be honest. Let's put that over here in the beginning so I can keep track of it. Okay, maybe not, maybe here. Alright, cards. What do I want here? I don't think we need Cascading Reaction. At this point, our Blinkblade has sufficient movement to not to rely on the bottom half of this consistently to get through to places. I think I do want Power Leak. There are enough enemies here, and we need high damage attack. And Power Leak can always surface and move 7 in a pinch, so I think that's good to take. Experimental Adjustment is very useful for opening doors, so we'll keep that. This Twin Strike is good for the bottom half piercing. Kinetic Transfer is one of our few ways of pushing, so if we get lucky, we hopefully can get to somewhere like here and push this guy 3 1, 2, 3 spaces over to this trap, or we can get to maybe like here and push him through this trap. So there are situations where kinetic transfer can do a good job here, so I think we'll take that. I think this is our loadout. I could take temporal displacement for the bottom half, but I think at this point attack 2 bottom, whilst it's good, is not better than all the other stuff I have. Yeah, I think this is fine. Alright, let's look at Deathwalker. Do I want Fleet-Bitten Shore here? I think we'll just keep the leather armor. Layabout, Rambler or Closer. Layabout could be possible. Closer is also possible. 7 or less experience. Do I really want to try for that? I mean, Deathwalker generally don't get a lot of experience. That is true. But do I want to actively try for is the question. I think maybe we'll take Closer. So we have Opener and Closer. I think we can generally control, if we do get to the last room on the first try, we can generally control the battle goal for Closer. Yeah, there's a chance I don't succeed in this scenario, by the way, on the first try. It's very, very possible. Okay, let's look at attacks. So we probably not taking Rest in Shade. I don't think it's that helpful here, because we're not in the same room, and the shadow is not going to be moving with us enough for this to be worthwhile. Summoning a Shade is a good way for our shadow to move forward naturally. So there might be a reason to take this. I think we'll take Eclipse actually for the bottom half, move 4 here. I think that is just helpful in general. And Black Barrage is good, Dominate is good. Forceful Spirit is one of our few ways to teleport. So the idea is we basically Dark Fog is kind of like our move, and we'll just teleport forward when we need to. Lingering Rot. Poison is really good. And a bit of AoE with our poison is also kind of good. So attack 3 is not too shabby here. Or do I want to just take Anger of the Dead for the initiative? Like, Wound is a condition that does work against everybody. So it's not the worst thing in the world to take a card that allows you to wound people. I think the last card here is quite difficult. Well, I know I'm not taking Strength of the Abyss or these cards, so I think it's really between Lingering Rot or Anger of the Dead or Sunless Apparition. I guess the question is, will I have a lot of shadows to spend around to summon? I mean, the idea here is we're going to use basically Cove to the Abyss to get a tag on these guys and kill them sequentially, so we hopefully get 5 shadows out of this room. Yes, questionable whether we Anger of the Dead here. Lingering Rod does mean it will put us in a weird position where we are going to be exposed to attack, potentially. So if I'm taking Lingering Rot, I think I probably want to take Fleet-Bitten Shore instead. How many attacks top half we currently have? So we have probably 1, 2, 3 maybe attacks, maybe 4. So we probably do want a card we can consistently attack with. Maybe Code of Doom them, but attack 1 is so minimal here. It doesn't even feel like it's worthwhile. I think maybe we do take Sunless Apparition here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Give us another way to teleport on the bottom half, even though it's a more limited teleport because this has to go to the hex with the shadow. And summoning a Shade to help us keep up, because the Shade can just move by itself. Might not be that bad. Alternatively, I mean, Lingering Rot combined with Power Potion could be a big hit if we need to take down a whole bunch of things. Yeah, I think Sunless Apparition is the optimist take, and then the pessimist take is Lingering Rot for sure. You know, maybe I do take Lingering Rot. We should play safe. Because there might be a world where we have so many oozes multiplied, we just need a big hit with Lingering Rot to try to clear them off the board. Okay, I think we'll go with that. Now positioning. The positioning in this room is actually kind of interesting, not gonna lie. Again, I think this is a testament of how well the game's designed. You do have a weird position here, right? This is pretty weird. And this is clearly Drifter. Drifter has the most HP, most of the tanking abilities, so Drifter is likely going to be the first one that's going to get smacked around a bit. And Deathwalker will actually have to hide here, because if you go here, I think very much this scenario is pushing you to go to the top half of the room to start with. Because of this spike trap, it's quite hard for our team to navigate this narrow corridor here. And you know, like as with all games like this, you want to just kill enemies off the board as quickly as possible. And certainly the best way would be to just kill this low HP Living Doom. Given we have also pulling from this position doesn't really work, because most of our Bannerspear's pulling is within range 3, and this guy is unfortunately out of range. So we can't just move here and put this guy, whereas we can move here and put this guy into the trap. As a result, if Deathwalker stands here, Deathwalker will become the target for all the guys on the right, even with the Flea Bitten Shore, just because of distance. So Deathwalker will certainly be hiding here as a starting point. So that means Bannerspear will have to go here in order to cover the ground to get to here. So with boots, this will be a move 4, and we can pull people in. And Blinkblade therefore naturally ends up here. Blinkblade will have to just try and see opportunistically what we can do with our head start, and hopefully squeeze ourselves into a position that we can maybe do kinetic transfer the following turn. There's no point doing kinetic transfer to right off the get-go. I mean, there could be a move 1, 2, 3, 4 to here, and then push this guy out, but I think just push Blinkblade in too much of a danger territory. But we'll see. When we do the first round planning, that might be the best way to do it. I think that's it. Don't think there's much more to say, other than thanks for watching. We'll cut here, and we'll jump into Scenario 9 in our next video. Bye-bye.